Hey YouTube, this is Southern Prepper 1 and welcome to Boots on the Ground. Let's get right into it. Our business of the day is oldtilesdecor.com. I'll give you a link for it. Basically what they do is they produce retro and vintage style wallpaper and metal signs, folk art, retro style. So if you need anything for your accessorizing your house, Christmas is coming up, make some awesome gifts, so go check them out. Old Tiles Decor. Let's get right into it. A German bakery was slapped with a 330 euros. That's the equivalent of $330,000 gas bill after the new energy company suddenly terminated their contract with guaranteed pricing until the end of 2023. The owner basically says he has 14 days to pay the bill. A year ago, his bill was less than 6,000 euros or less than $6,000 per month in gas for a large furnace and for heating. But now it is 1,200% increase. Phenomenal. Europe is in serious trouble. This person is from Hay Bikes, and they wanted you guys to know they're going to be attending the Miami Electrify Expo. So this is going to be October 8th and 9th. That's Saturday and Sunday. They're going to be there from 10 to 5 Eastern Time. I'll give you all the information. But if you want to go look at Hay Bikes was the bike I just reviewed. You can check them out and actually sit on the bikes, see all their bikes in person. So that would be great if you're thinking about purchasing it. I've never heard of this Electrify Expo, but it sounds pretty cool. And it's in Miami, Florida. This person lives in Anchorage area near Alaska. In Alaska, canned vegetables at Walmart was 58 cents a can 2 months ago. Then they increased to 64 cents a can. Now, as of today, they are 73 cents. So they went from 58 to 73 cents in about 2 months. They also said there was no eggs or dairy in the fridge section. Also, flour at the Costco up there went up a few dollars for a 25-pound bag. Basically, everything's going up, as you all know. And this is from our official reporter in Australia, MK. Thank you, MK, for always sending us good information. She said mortgage interest rates went up again this month. This is the 5th month in a row. She also went to the local pub for lunch. She got a chicken sandwich, some chips, a salad, and it had gone up $1 since she bought the same meal last week. Also, she said someone in town had their car petrol tank drained overnight, and that is going to get worse everywhere. So get a locking gas cap, but then they can try to get it from the underneath and damage your tank. So you can't win. This is persons in the Eastern Sierra of California, and they sent me pictures of the canned cat food aisle a few days ago. And it's been like this for several weeks, they said. Basically, just slim pickings for cat food. So if you need it, get it now. She bought a bag of dry cat food, and it should have been $14 a bag, but now it's up to $21 a bag. This person said, my husband is a retired sergeant with the sheriff's deputy. He went to the local grocery store, and he had to get a script first, so he went to get his prescription. Then he was walking around the store picking up a few other little things, and someone actually, I guess, tried to grab his prescription bag. Maybe they didn't know what was in it or wanted something drug-related. Luckily, he had his Second Amendment piece on him, and he stopped that cold. So, they wanted you to know to use the buddy system. I have stressed the buddy system. Do not go shopping anywhere without a buddy system. Even if you're an adult male, best go with someone else. Do not become a target. This person is 72 years old. I'm still waiting for my 2020 IRS refund. I keep calling. I get disconnected. They have a cash refund coming back to them. I think it's $888, and they need it. They want it to prep. So if anyone has any tips what they could do, they can't get through the IRS, so I don't know what to tell them. This person lives in Southeast Texas. In a town. We have a Walmart and one grocery store. In the last month, we had a Hispanic woman in our parking lot asking people to pay for their groceries using children, saying they needed food. When that didn't work, they targeted the elderly. 3 women would confront them and force them to pay for groceries. I know two that were approached personally. They were finally caught doing this, the people that were sort of, strong-arming people, and they were kicked out of the store. They each went and got into different cars and left, but they were back a few days later. So yes, there's a lot of people. It doesn't have to be Hispanic. All colors of people are committing crimes or trying to intimidate elderly people. So be careful. It goes back to going to the grocery store anywhere in a buddy team. Take your friend with you. I live in Western Washington State, and for as long as I lived there, about 4 years, Monster energy drinks at the gas stations were 2 for $4. Today they were 2 for $4.79 for 16 ounces. That's what they used to be, but now they have a new 12-ounce can for sale at the price of 2 for $4. So definitely, if you buy the 16 ounces, they're more expensive. If you get the regular ones, they've gone down to 12 ounces. So you got shrinkflation. So you either got inflation or shrinkflation. One of the two is going to get you if you try to buy an energy drink. On Friday, I sent one of my staff members to make a deposit to the company bank account. When she returned, she had a look on her face and she handed me the deposit slip and a written notification from the bank. She said to me, "You now need to present a photo ID and give your social security number to make a deposit." I looked at her, seeing if she was serious, and she said, "Yes, I'm serious." So they actually attached a copy of the notification, and basically they're trying to fight against anti-money laundering rules. But if you have a business, you're going to be throwing cash and checks in there all the time. They are just trying to create a stranglehold and just more control. That's the bottom line. This person sent me a picture of honey, and this is a container of honey in Kingsport, Tennessee. It was at $14.97, so let's say 15 bucks. Then it went to $18, and now they just checked, it is $20. So in a short period of time, from 15 to 20, that's high inflation. This person said, "This evening for dinner, I looked at our local Mexican restaurant in Pennsylvania online menu to order a dozen tacos. The price showed 3 tacos for $4.75. I called the restaurant to place my order. When my husband picked up the order and brought it home, I asked him for the receipt. I was so bummed when I saw the receipt. They had charged me $8 for 3 tacos, which pushed my bill from should have been $20 to $33.88, including the $1.92 for tax. For 12 tacos. I called the restaurant and explained about the pricing, and the restaurant said, "Yeah, we can't keep the prices up to date on our online. So everything you see on the menu is at least doubled in the price at this moment." He also told me to come in on Taco Tuesday when you can get 3 for $3.99. Instead, I said no thanks. So yes, basically, even if you order something, before you commit to buying it, ask for the total price so you can have you can see any discrepancies and fight it then. This person went to a local Food Lion grocery store for meat and found 2 massive pork shoulders on manager special, a 12-pounder, and that was $1 a pound, and an 18-pounder for $1.25 a pound. Both were within the sell-by date, so I brought them and bought them home to cut up and can. Both of them were rotted. As soon as I cut the plastic wrapper, they stunk to high heavens. Luckily, they took them both back. I've also had bad luck with fresh produce lately. So, be careful what you buy. You might not want to buy something and throw it in the freezer. You might want to smell it before you throw it in the freezer. This week, 2 different stores in my areas had potatoes on sale for $4 for a 10-pound bag. That's the lowest price I've seen in the area for months. So that is some good news. Maybe with the increased, getting right next to the potato harvest, potato prices will come down. This is in Washington State. Went to 2 stores this morning to get eggs and get cat food. The first store was Winco for the eggs. I noticed at Winco they were super well stocked up on meat. They had extra meat sitting in the rolling trays ready to be put up. But the price of the meat has gone up between 20 and 40%. So yes, everything's going up. This person said they went to Walmart and they purchased some things. Luckily, they kept track of the prices because 5 items that they purchased were different than the display price. So they had to get it corrected, which was no problem. But they did save the $10 by being aware of what the prices are. So be aware. My husband works for an international juice bottling company. Their can line and almost all their plants have cut the numbers of shifts in half. There's no longer a night shift and often only 4 days a week instead of the normal 7 days a week they are running. They also put a stop on any overtime work. This is important. This is a juice company that has gone from wide out, full speed ahead, to only 4 days a week. That's troubling news. This person said, I bought some Augustin Farm 30-day emergency food buckets for $99 back in October of 2019 from Amazon. We checked the price today. Same seller, same brand, same product, $180. So that is definitely an $80 increase. Now, granted, it's been a few years, but they did have some positive news that their propane, when they went to fill their 20-pound tank, was actually cheaper than it was in June. So that's some good news. This person lives in Arizona. I can confirm Amazon is cutting half of its workers because of lack of Amazon orders online. I have a relative that works directly for Amazon. So that's troubling news also. If Amazon is slowing down, that's bad. This person I've been talking to, it's official from FedEx. My position will be cut January 1st. The peak season runs from the last week of September until December 30th. And they will have my company that does the maintenance at that facility going to be getting rid of them. They are anticipating a 40% reduction in business for the last quarter of 2022. They are anticipating a 40% reduction of business for the last quarter of 2022. That screams major recession. They also have 4 huge buildings there. I've talked about these. And they were going to occupy them and use them, but because the orders aren't coming in, the buildings are going to sit vacant. The city approved a plan to leave these buildings vacant until 2025. But he did say, but they are stocking supplies in multiple locations, and they did provide some pictures. So I don't know what these supplies are. They look like bottled water. We live in the middle of the state of New Hampshire. Hearing the electrical power prices were going up everywhere, we cut our power usage this month by 37% compared to last month. So they reduced use by 37%, but our bill only went down 18%. We're going to have to get even more creative on cutting our power use. My husband took me to the feed store a while ago. The man in front of me was trying to buy some feed or supplements for his animals. Apparently what he wanted to buy had doubled in price, which is not the feed store fault. It is what it is. He made a comment that no one could raise animals with this going on, and he didn't know what he was going to do. Anyways, he walked out empty-handed, but everyone should take note. Farmers and ranchers cannot survive with this going on. Eventually, they're going to sell out, lose their property, and things are going to get worse. This morning at an outlet near Twin City, Minnesota, I was at Bath & Body Works. A woman checking out next to me was waiting because the credit card were not processing. The manager came over and to help her and told the worker helping me she had already received a couple of texts from other managers that were having problems with the machine. Luckily, I had a $100 bill so I could get checked out, but they couldn't take it because they were very low on change, in the sense they didn't have a lot of change to deal with cash, because really most people pay with credit cards or debit cards. That same day she talked to her husband, and the husband had problems at a gas station because their credit card systems were down, so they were closed, they couldn't do business. This person works at Target. Overnight in the receiving. I can tell you exactly what is happening at these big box stores. These companies have paid to get their product out of these shipping containers and move to their distribution centers. So there's a large amount of freight coming into receiving. On top of that, there's a major staff shortage. No one wants to stay at these positions receiving or stocking because it's not enough pay for them to stay and work hard. Everywhere is paying the same average wage, and it's barely enough to get by. So if they don't like their job, they leave. Inflation also, people are buying less. So all the excess pallets of goods you see sitting around is because of the increased freight that's coming in and staff shortage plus inflation, or people do not have extra money to buy. This person said the Sam's Club, they usually buy sugar, and they buy a lot because they feed a lot of hummingbirds. I usually buy the 10 pounds of the Members Mark sugar at Sam's. It's usually $5.48 a bag. I was quite surprised. They were completely out of stock, and I've been buying this for years from them. They only had a different brand, C&H, and that was about $7.48 per bag. When I asked the Sam's Club associate about it, they looked in the computer and said they don't even show an order coming in of this sugar. They suggest that perhaps there's something going on with the new packaging and to keep checking back. Or Sam's has realized they can't sell it for $5.48. It might be a loss, so they're going to have to change it. The company I work for lost an engine on a 962M front loader in the waste industry. This machine is 4 years old, but when they look for all the parts to rebuild the engine, all they get is parts unavailable with no ETA. Same with the whole remanufactured engine, no ETA or availability. And CAT is a big company. CAT's a huge company. Now we're relying on an older one that is 20 years old to do the job. So part availability, it is killing people. It is making them where they can't get their job done. This is some folk tale, and I want to tell you this. This says, this person sent me, the kernels inside a persimmon seed is shaped like a fork, plant on a mild winter with light powdery snow. If it's shaped like a knife, expect frigid wind that cuts like a knife. If it's shaped like a spoon, expect to shovel plenty of snow. The persimmon seeds in Missouri City are all spoon shaped. So that means expect to shovel a lot of snow, and that means it's going to be cold. So that's just some folk tale. We'll see if it comes true. Dollar General and the Dollar Tree and Aldi's are having very reduced operating hours due to lack of help. Due to them paying only $10.50 to $12 an hour, and these are corporate rules. Plenty of trucks are coming in, but shelves are empty since no one is there to stock them. 4 to 6 Dollar Generals and Dollar Trees in the area. Small businesses are having problems keeping up with wage rates, not adjusting for inflation. It's a vicious circle. So it's everywhere. People don't want to work, and I don't blame them. If the wages are too low, you can't even make it. I recently drove from Denver, Colorado to Rock Springs, Wyoming, about a 5-hour drive. Northern Colorado, about 30% of the cornfields look dry and dead, and the other 60% look green and healthy. Normally, all the fields look green and lush. Up in Wyoming on I-80 to Rock Springs, the trucks on the roads were plentiful. I passed constantly big rigs. That gave me hope. But little to no normal-sized vehicles. Some small cars and trucks, but mostly just big rigs. This person flew into Midway Airport last night. That was a couple days ago. And the Hertz and the Dollar, I don't know, Dollar, whatever the other rental company is, they didn't finish it. We're out of rentals. Hertz personnel told me over the phone that no rental cars were available at O'Hare as well. So you got Midway and O'Hare, no rental cars. I've heard a lot of problems with this. I've actually had family members had reserved vehicles, and they get there to get it, and no, there is no vehicle for them. Also, a lot of reports of the vehicles that people are renting are older, they're dirty, they're not maintained, they need tires. So that is a big problem across the board. I live 20 miles outside of central Washington, a city there, and only get to town a couple times a month, so I really notice these changes in my store shelves. Outside of Safeway and the local grocery chain Walmart and Winco, these are our major grocery stores. Milk, out-of-store brands, and very slim on other brands. Some of the brands of half and half were out of date by 4 days. Fresh vegetables look like a hurricane went through. Terrible. Meat, very little variety and not much of it either. They did say the Winco, because it's an employee-owned, had great produce. So shop around. One store might not have what you want. Another store, it looks like this Winco was well stocked, and they had a lot of things. So there you go. There's some boots on the ground. I hope you're prepping. I hope you're preparing. Do not get anxious. Do not fear. That will do you no good. Just keep doing what you can do, and that's all you can do. Thanks for watching.